Hi everyone, I am back with another tool for your great mental health toolkit, and today we are talking about breath. And this one's quite a contentious tool, so I've saved it a little while until we've had some of our other tools, but it's a really useful tool as well. And this is particularly a great tool for de-escalating in that moment. And typical symptoms when we're experiencing things like anxiety or PTSD or panic attacks, even when we are experiencing an overwhelming amount of stress, such as work-related stress, we might feel things like an increased heart rate, shortness or tightness of breath, maybe a tightness in our chest. And so today's tool is going to really help us just calm all of them and de-escalate all of them. So a quick way to de-escalate any panic or anxiety-driven mental health challenge would be to lower our heart rate, because in those situations our heart rate typically increases to quite a rapid pace. So we want to lower our heart rate. The challenge is, though, that our heartbeat is something that's completely out of our control. It just happens without us having to action anything. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is, instead of focusing on our heart rate, we're going to focus in on our breath. So I did say that breathing exercises and breath work is quite contentious. There's a couple of schools of thought around this. So one being that if you focus in and concentrate on your breath and you try and change it, it can actually escalate things and make things worse because of that focus. The other school of thought is that it's a really great tool to de-escalate. It can calm us down, it can bring down other symptoms, and it's a really great tool. The truth is, both schools of thought are right in their own way. There's pros and cons to both, and ultimately it is a tool that you can try and decide whether or not it works for you. So the reason why we have toolkits and not a tool is because one tool might work for you, another won't. So you want a really good, well-rounded toolkit in order to pick the right tool for the right situation. So today we're going to just focus in a little bit on our breath, and I want you to start by noticing where you feel your breath. Don't try and change it. We're not about changing it at the moment. We're just noticing where we feel it. And so you might feel it deep in your belly, or you might feel it in your chest. And typically, a lot of the time, we tend to find that when we are doing anxiety or panic or any of those other sorts of stress-related mental health challenges, we tend to hold our breath in our chest. I know you can't see where I'm holding my hands at the moment, but it's sort of in my chest. The challenge is, when we breathe into our chest, we might notice that our breath is quite shallow and there is a tightness in our chest as well. So we can't get a full deep breath when we're breathing into our chest. And we've been taught from a young age to breathe into our chest as well. Even when we're trying to look like we're a little bit slimmer, if we hold it into our chest, then, we're holding everything in, aren't we, when we breathe? But again, it's hard to get a really deep breath when I'm breathing in through my chest. So don't try and change it now. Just notice where you notice it and notice how it feels. Is it tight? Is it a deep, nourishing breath? Is it a short breath? How are you feeling it? We can then take this a step further by changing our breath. And for us, what we're going to do is really just try and focus in. And again, I know you can't see it, but focus in on your belly and breathing into your belly. And I always suggest put your hands on your belly while you're breathing in. And just take a large, deep breath into your belly. And just notice how that expands. Notice if it feels different or if it feels the same. not trying to make a judgment on what you notice, you're just noticing it. And when you notice that you've got a rhythm of breathing deep into your belly, and again you can feel it in your hands as they expand across your belly, just take 8 deep breaths. Slow, steady, deep breaths into your belly. And for this, you might breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, or you might just choose to breathe in through your nose and then out through your nose, whatever's more comfortable for you. And once you've breathed 8 times into your belly, just notice how you're feeling. Notice what other symptoms come up. Maybe you notice the feeling of your heart rate has now slowed, or the tightness has gone, or it's changed feeling. And you'll notice that as we change our breath and it becomes more rhythmic and slow, that we are able to slow down our heart rate without having to focus in on our heart rate. And again, that really helps us to de-escalate that entire moment as well. So you can use this tool anytime you're experiencing any sort of panic, anxiety, if you're feeling overwhelmed or overstressed. This is a really good tool just to slow everything down a little bit and de-escalate that experience. So that's it from me today. I will be back with another tool later on in the week. But for now, have a fantastic day.